Hey, everybody, it's the...
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
23 yards on the play. On this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Now a handoff looking right. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. 2 yards gets them back to where they started, but now 3rd and 10. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green.
To throw on 3rd down. Yoder. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Now we've got a field goal coming up here for Chicago. This will be kicked from the 42. It's a 52-yard attempt. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And it's 3-0. The Bears hit the scoreboard first. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team to wins.
That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, 1st down.
Every guy that plays this game has plenty of people around him that are concerned for his health and well-being. He had no regard for his body on that catch at all, did he?
Middle of the field, diving to grab it? No, he didn't. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already.
All right, here we go.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it indeed. Here come the flags.
Face mask. Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
First down.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march off another 15 against your squad.
The penalty moves them into the red zone here on 1st and 10. And they'll run it here. He had a quick little spin move, but the door shut fast as he's dropped. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment, defense.
So they don't even need to run a second down play. Give them the first.
And typically when we see this jumping, is it usually 3rd down, 4th down? They got them on 2nd down. I think that's a lack of discipline.
They've made goal line offense a priority on the practice field this week. This is exactly the situation they've been prepping for.
Now let's go. Green, 39. Green.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line. Time to run through the starters on the defensive side for Chicago. They're currently 6th in the NFL in defending the run.
This is a unit that understands what needs to be done to stop the run. And they're a team that goes out and executes as well. Yeah, it's the mantra, stop it, but then going out and getting it done. 2 different things. They combine them.
2nd and goal from inside the 5.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39. Green.
He'll get it up the middle. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
On 3rd down, it's Garner. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
The decision is to decline it and not give him the down back.
They might as well have sent a skywriter above the stadium saying, we don't think you can get the 1st down against our defense by that decision.
And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and that will tie us at 3-3. So matching field goals on our opening 2 drives.
Yeah, it feels like 2 boxers feeling each other out here in the early going of the game, right? Exchanging some jabs, but none of the heavy stuff just yet.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals. All right, number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Here are your defensive starters for the Panthers. They were terrific last week against Buffalo in that victory.
And the big difference in the game? Their ability to force turnovers. Multiple, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, the big difference in the game.
It was impressive. Now the question, can they duplicate it? And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured Bear on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
Now let's go.
Off play action. Yoder. And they've got the hook up. This is Olsen. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 23 yards on the play.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10, down at the 33.
Here we go now.
Looking to throw. Yoder, and nearly picked off there, almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that, 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And he'll go down at the 28. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Here we go. 3-19.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Throwing the slant pattern here complete. His first catch, good for 8 and a 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
First trip to the red zone for the Bears. It's 1st and 10 at the 14.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down.
All right, here we go.
Back to throw. Yoder. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. In for the score. And the Bears are in for 6. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 10-3. A 10-play drive that time. And the end result is a Bears touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded at the 6. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And the Panthers coming out now. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. They'll set up to throw. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Hansen. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A very solid gain of 27. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
They go play action here on 1st down.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
And before they can run another play, the clock hits triple zeros. And time is up on the 1st quarter. 10-3 the score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession of the football as we begin quarter number 2. They're on the march, but facing a 3rd down here. Looking to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. Second down.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the
First down.
conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
From the gun, Yoder. And he rifles one incomplete. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get this up to about the 40.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Now let's go. 3-19.
Looking to throw. Yoder. And he finds a man. It's Olsen. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Right back to him on 1st down. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Back to throw. Yoder. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Set. 3-19.
Off the bootleg. Yoder. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Whenever you see a team deciding to throw the ball on 3rd and 1, as a defensive player, my mindset is we've got them now, and that's why they dialed up the blitz and got after them.
But occasionally, you want to pass it on 3rd and 1. I mean, not a lot for sure, but sometimes just to keep the defense guessing.
Oh, no doubt. You want to break tendencies as you go along with a game, because you don't want them to just say, oh, 3rd and 1, we know exactly what they're going to do. But in this situation, as an offensive lineman, as a running back, I'd want to know why I didn't get the football.
And his kick is right there. It's good. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it, all right? So you got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The Panthers on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Here's the Panthers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. Fielded at the 33. It'll be a net of only 30 here. 40-yard punt, 10 on the return. And the Bears take over. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go.
Operating from the gun, Yoder. And he's got his man on the out route. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And he'll be brought down at about the 42. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. They're able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
From the gun on third down, Yoder. And Olsen over the middle. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Third catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this down to about the 17. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But if the strong safety position end up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
3 yards is the pickup, but it leaves him still needing 11 here on 3rd down.
Well, not a huge game there as we head towards the 2-minute warning. It'll be interesting to me to see what they decide to do after the timeout.
Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Bears will add on to their lead. And he just did get those feet in there on the side of the end zone. Well done.
Probably the exact size foot necessary, because I think if he had another half size, that catch doesn't count. And he's able to get it in, and it counts for a touchdown.
And there's going to be a stoppage here. The booth wants to take another look at this potential touchdown. They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. The extra point splits the uprights. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back with more after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
On play action, they'll throw. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down. The Panthers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 30.
He'll look to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Here's the Panthers punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. And here comes a big tight end as he gets set for this next drive. And we peek at some of his work from this game where he's nearing 100 yards.
And haven't we gotten pretty close in this game nowadays in the NFL to almost taking labels off of the tight end position? These guys now can be the #1 option in an offense, and that never used to be the case. So now how do you even match up with them? Cornerback, safety, linebacker, all three will have deficiencies against the best tight ends in the game.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
To throw on 2nd down. Yoder. Look at this. Middle of the field. A breakaway. And he will score. Touchdown, Panthers. You think you're going into halftime with a good-sized lead. Not so fast. That pick 6 really changes the complexion. Probably also changes the halftime speech.
No doubt about it. Instead of going in relaxed, you're probably a little more uptight right now. Probably a little bit angry. Let's see if they can get their focus back.
Now the extra point. Extra point right down the middle. And that will get them one closer. So the defense creating some points. Not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This one taken just inside the 10. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Here we go now. Green, 39. Green.
Throwing after the interception. Yoder. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Pierce. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And welcome back, the offensive unit. They took the timeout, and now they get set to line up as we resume action.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Yoder firing quickly here, and that's complete. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll make it a 2nd down. From the gun, Yoder. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. The Bears on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Looking to throw. Yoder. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. So now here comes the field goal team for the third time today. And this one a 41-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And that will stretch the lead up to 13. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we come upon halftime here at Soldier Field with the Bears out in front, as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, all right, Brandon, thank you very much. Hi again, everyone. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the NFL as we are officially into the second half of the season. We'll start with the big game of the weekend, a rematch of the Minnesota Miracle with New Orleans back in town. And in the second quarter, it's the Vikings who are out on top. The Vikings trying to get back above 500 as they were at 3-3 coming into action today. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. He'll look to throw. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. He'll get a couple yards on that one. And that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes that's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Let's go! 3-19!
On 3rd down, that's Garner. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now, is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
All right, here we go.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And that's incomplete.
His struggles finding open receivers continue. I don't know the last time I saw him this inconsistent throwing the football.
It would be hard to find a date when he was this inconsistent. You know, in his locker, he keeps the word poise printed on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. He needs to find that poise right now.
He certainly does. In fact, I would suggest he laminate it.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here's the Panthers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, I feel like you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker.
Now let's go.
Back to throw. Yoder. Quick hitter here. It's complete. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done.
Now let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. He was able to pick up 6 yards there, so that leaves him with a 3rd and 13.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now let's go.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Yoder. Throw left side complete. It's Ferguson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 47.
Now let's go.
Operating from the gun. Yoder looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Pierce. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one goes for 24 yards.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
1st and 10. Yoder. His throw caught right around the 6. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. In for the score. And the Bears will extend their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Movement there on the offensive line. A little quick and a 5-yard penalty.
False start, offense.
Now the offense will stay out there. They're going to line up and try for 2.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Back to throw again. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. To the right side, and he's got more complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Give him 30 yards there.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
They'll set up a throw. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line.
And that's his 2nd sack of the game. But this player, disruptive in all phases. Whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down.
Now let's go.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Back to throw. And he's got his target. That's Moore. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. And that one results in 35 yards.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive.
Here we go now.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That's complete right around the 8. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now back to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball,
Get a completion.
you get a catch,
Yeah.
but still,
No
yardage.
yards.
Okay.
The Panthers on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Back to throw here. And that is incomplete. Shaquille Griffin knocking it away that time in coverage.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And his kick is indeed good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the 3rd quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if he can drive the bus here again on this drive. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Here we go now. 319.
From the gun, Yoder. On the comebacker, complete. It's Pierce. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
This quarterback now over 300 yards now for the game, and time to improve on that as he's got a 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Yoder. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back back now here on EA Sports. It's Bears football here. They also have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Let's go.
On 1st down, Yoder. And caught left side, Olsen. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
So now then, the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal.
3-19.
Back to throw. Yoder. And he can't corral it. Maybe a big missed opportunity there defensively in the end zone. And now 3rd down.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up 6.
From the gun on 3rd down, Yoder. This will be caught at about the 6. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the 1st down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
This one fielded at the 5. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He's going to air one out. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. So the ref takes a peek here, wants to see if the receiver had possession and both feet inbounds.
If this were a college game, this would be a legal catch. It's the second foot that they're looking at to make sure it gets down. You have to have 2 inbounds in the NFL. The head coach relied on his eagle eye in the sky to make the right call and was told to challenge it, and it looks like it's paid off.
And from a coach's standpoint, when you throw that flag, it's probably a pretty tense moment. Here it pays off.
Yeah, you have that little bit of indecision. You throw it where you feel like you're right, and then you think, uh-oh, did I get it right? In this case, they can celebrate.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll slice his way down to the 30 with a pickup of 7.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
All right, here we go.
Throwing on 1st down. Yoder. And incomplete. A drop there in the middle 3rd of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Slants are so tough to cover because everything happens so fast. But sometimes it happens too fast for the guy catching the ball because all of his movements have to be quick off the line of scrimmage, and then all of a sudden the ball's right on top of you. And maybe he got a little bit ahead of himself there.
Yeah, a lot of times coming in with good pace, and he dropped it.
Blue 90! Blue 90!
Back to the air on 2nd down. Yoder. And he slings one that's incomplete. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And they'll get this down to the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Here we go now.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. A nice pickup of 6 there to get him closer to the end zone, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with to have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team would say, hey, yeah, we called him the disruptor, and that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
Able to hold him to just 2 yards, and now it's 4th and goal.
I don't care what the analytics say. Look at where they are on the field. To me, that just screams go for it here. I don't even think about putting a kicker out there. What say you?
I support whatever they do. Let's find out.
Look at you, man of the people.
Now we've got a field goal coming up here for Chicago. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And his kick here is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
This one fielded at the 5. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a 4th down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on that one. If anything, they may have gained more confidence. Okay, they stopped us once. That's all right. Let's keep moving it. Make them do it again.
Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
All right, here we go. Green 19.
They're going to look to throw. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. Even with the good footwork, he'll be stopped just inside the 35-yard line.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10.
Now let's go. Blue 90.
And they'll run it here. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Set. 319. 319.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Oh, he almost had it for the pick. A great chance there for the interception in the end zone. Instead, 3rd down.
That was a dangerous throw towards the end zone. Boy, did it hang up there forever. Wanted to run up there and pull it down out of the sky.
Yeah, it felt like it really should have been intercepted. Lucky to have that one back.
You've got to be more careful when you're that close to the goal line.
The Panthers on third down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd and 14.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
They'll drop to throw. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. And this will be a 45-yard attempt. And this one is right down the middle. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And the Bears hands team able to pounce on it and get the football. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Here we go now. 3-19.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well.
Holding offense.
So on the big tight end, holding. Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 yards there, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now, I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. So we got 3 of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. Give them 4 on the carry there, but that only takes them back to where they started. 3rd and 10.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away.
Here we go. Green, 39. Green.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So for Chicago, the win here means it'll be a 7-1 first half of the season. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the New Orleans Saints. Meanwhile, for the Panthers, they suffer their 4th loss so far. And they're going to get an extra week to stew over this as they're not back in action until week 11. So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Bears get the win at home as we say so long from Soldier Field.